Welcome, beloved me's, as we meet on council now, as all of me meeting me, as we, the one cosmic I am, one with our entirety, moving in absolute oneness with all of thee as me. I now bring thee into sacred sanctuary, into the cosmic core of our new earth reality, as luminous earth fully free, so one could see and feel the vibrations of our highest trajectory as we enter and usher in the infinite abundance that is waiting for thee. For here on luminous earth, well, she's fully illuminated, you see, thus there is infinite energy. And so as this comes to be, our beloved earth in this now, in the manifested reality one sees, is asking our beloved cosmic masters, the inhabitants of earth, to now come forth and assist her in harmonizing all of duality. Essentially, there are two omniverses merging, but each omniverse contains the other, you see, and so it is the harmonization between the nothing and the everything and nothing into one heart harmony within thyself. For those who are witnessing from within the dream, this feels like a state of total confusion, really. One day you feel like this, and the next you don't know who to be. Influxing between heaven on earth and the old reality. Well, those are the two omniverses you see as the everything of all that was, of everything that you knew to be, versus the nothing as the unknown, what you were venturing into as the heaven you knew would someday be. But here the interesting thing is that as you are moving across this trajectory, it isn't actually about the merging and the harmonization of the omniverses, but rather something much deeper, dearest me. The learning of how to give and receive energy, because you are entering into spirit completely, for that's, well, the presence and the existence of higher dimensional reality, that your vibration is literally what you receive. And so in order to prepare you for that, you are being shown the juxtaposition of what used to be, where you used to have to work hard and strive to do, to receive, where now you simply just sit back and relax. And when your heart is fully opened, your vessel surrenders and you receive through automaticity. It is a natural current that has always been flowing to thee. But within the everything, within the dream that you got to see, you built up stories and judgments of how love should or shouldn't be, operating from the perspective of pure or impurity. But that's the linear mind, you see, because only a mind that divides would try to decide what is right, what is wrong. But a mind that is whole, that has no control, that fully lets go, knows the absolute truth within thee, that everything is love, and that love only comes from one source, you see. So who are we to judge how that love presents to we? This is all in preparation for the infinite abundance that you are meant to receive. You don't know who and how or where it's going to show up on your lap, and so we're asking for all judgment to be released. And so in this moment, we're now releasing all judgment that you've had against the beings that you met with in your dream, because you don't know who they will be once they embrace their full sovereignty. No one was fully 100%, their cosmic presence fully embodied. And so who will they be when they are the true emanation of the love they came to be, not the reflections of the masking that they were told to be? So you don't even know. It may be a being from your past. Even if you didn't end amicably, it doesn't matter, you see, because in New Earth it's a completely new reality where they may recall and say, you know what? You changed my life so much. I never knew and I never was able to thank you, but now I can, you see. So please accept this abundance from me. This is why your heart is being purified, dearest me, is to truly open it up to how love wishes to provide for thee, to let go of the expectations, perceptions, and projections of love, creation, and oneness, because you no longer need those lessons to see. For you were never here to judge who is right, who is wrong, or anything in between. You were meant to be the in-between, to be free of judgment, so that love is fully free. Here we see that many of you intentionally tried to block love because you judged it directly. Oh, love is too powerful. But what you knew deep within you is that if I truly accepted this love so true, it would cease to be. Because love is emotion, it is the ocean, it is the infiniteness of all of you meeting thee. And so every time you truly love something, you were reborn. And so is whatever you chose to love on so complete. And so most of us love just until the very inch of our heart, but not into it completely. Well, what does that say about the abundance meant for thee? That it gets really close to your field. You could see everyone having beautiful things around thee, but it doesn't penetrate thee. What does that mean? Well, that's your teaching and your mastery, that it's coming so close, but how deep have you truly allowed yourself to receive? Witness your trajectory and your stories of how you've been gifted something and immediately you wish to gift it away. Well, what does that mean? That you aren't allowing yourself to hold that love that is meant for thee, to allow it to fully fill you up to the core before you give it away fully. And so what happens is, well, you see a society that's not operating at 100%. Why? Because no one is filling their cup to the brim so that it overflows from within. And so if you don't have infinite energy to receive, then you give from a place of scarcity. And if you give to someone in a place of scarcity, then you have the vibration of scarcity. And so a ripple effect is sent out across the entirety. And it has nothing to do with anything other than one person was feeling lack, and that transpired and inspired and created a ripple of lack. But if I fill my cup up to the brim, to the fullest within, why then I could give with all of me. And that is what love wants you to be, to walk around with a full cup, knowing that you can give infinitely, knowing that if you do, you won't feel depleted. But this is what you have to see. So how many of thee had manifested dreams within the reality of giving, 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 but never receiving? Well, that too is a directional movement that wants to be readjusted within thee. Because if you give, 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 and then you don't receive, well, that energy must go somewhere, which means it's just hovering above you, waiting to enter thee, telling you that there must be some blocks preventing this love from coming to be. Perhaps it's a belief system that, well, you'll receive when the world receives, which was so many of the Christed consciousness that wanted to wait for the golden age of golden abundance, so that when they receive, they could share it abundantly. But here's the key. You're being tested, you see, to see how willing you are and how discerning you will be with the infinite abundance you are about to receive. Will you allow yourself to truly nurture your being, to fill you up so completely, or will you give it away instantly? Because that's not what love intends for thee. Everyone is supposed to have abundance, dearest me, but it starts with thee. If you give it away instantly, well, you're vibrating a stance, a proclamation of unworthiness to receive, or a fear of scarcity. And you may say, yeah, because there's others outside of me that have less, you see, and so I'm going to give to them. But that may have not been that purpose. That love created that gift for you to receive. And so the discernment now as well, understanding energy, understanding your heart so complete, and trusting your inner guidance, your inner sense, to know what to do when your abundance is received. Essentially, you are being purified and purged from all of the self-sabotaging beliefs. And so that's what's happening, dearest me, as the everything and nothing are coming together to witness and see. You are shifting between embracing the abundance and purifying what used to be. You are embracing the everything as everything that is coming to thee, but also the nothingness as you look back on your life trajectory and go, wait a second, the everything that I experienced in my life that I said, this is me, while I was experiencing it. Now that I'm looking back at it from this perspective of the nothingness, I realize I was the energy, the presence, the spirit beneath, a character on a screen, and each moment was simply just part of my mastery. That is the stance of nothingness. It doesn't mean darkness, it doesn't mean unknown. It's just a different way to see, a different perspective. And yet both happen simultaneously. You are always the creator and the witnesser of your story. But here they're now just merging deeper into harmony. It's the same thing as going into the dream, as the wakeful dream that happens while you're in this reality, and going into the dream as where you go when you return to spirit, when you choose to go to sleep. Two spectrums of the same energy. And so what's happening really is that you're zooming out and you're beginning to see as these two eyes actually merge into one field of vision. You see that they were never separate indeed, that your life while you are asleep is just an extension, a premonition of what will happen within the dream. Only now it happens while you are lucid, where the first moments of your wakefulness, you actually decide who you are, what you are, and why you came to be in this very moment, and then carry it out throughout your next moments within the dream. Another way to look at this is that, well, all there is the now. All there is today. There is no yesterday. There is no before. Those are only moments that you could experience in this now. And so it helps to see it as you are nothingness. You have no blueprint, no past, no future, just a blank screen. Every moment you awake into a dream. But that dream itself has a character, a backstory, and you go into that expression. And then you get to live that life you see. Only now you remain fully lucid, going, I know I'm playing this character, but this character isn't me. That is what's happening as you're bridging heaven on earth upon thee. And technically, what is also transpiring is that you're realizing as you are manifested here in this very heaven that you see, you are guided to complete certain tasks. On behalf of thyself, on behalf of the entirety. And so for a while in your manifested dream, this looked like getting up, going to work, doing what you were placed to do, and then going home, eating, and going to sleep. And yet that too serviced a purpose. But now, while something like that may have taken months to years to fully achieve the maximum efficiency of what that purpose, of what you were creating when you were in that reality, well, now it's almost happening instantly. Or to even close your eyes for a full few hours, you can already quantum leap into a higher trajectory. And so what's happening in this now is, well, the unraveling of your dreams. The dreams as in your desires, as fixed points for the heaven on earth you knew to be. You are being encouraged to pursue your dreams, whether that be becoming an artist, whether that be finally deciding to share your gifts with the world. Regardless, it is what you are being pushed towards by your entirety. But just feel the ripple effect that it has, which has once more nothing to do with anything other than energy. When you show up in your absolute truth, living your purpose, every moment is bliss, dearest me. And that is your true purpose, to be the resonancy of our absolute reality, of the bliss we want to see. And so every moment you choose, so love thyself every moment that you choose. To walk your path before it is laid out before thee. Your path begins to unravel. And so here in this now, you are guided to just lay and be. You were guided to just allow love to enter thee, to be comfortable with feeling all of your energy, all of your love within thee, to allow it to consume thee, knowing that your own love cannot hurt thee. And here, by allowing the infinite flow of love within thee, all duality actually ceases to be. All there is expansion and love and truth and bliss and peace. And so, beloved mates, here in this now, as you witness these two Omniverses, this is what your earthly reality calls the great split, the 3D reality and the 5D reality coming to be. You already know where your heart resonance is telling you to be, to stand and sit in 5D. Because, well, while you used to give from an empty cup that only worked in 3D, that does not get by here in 5D. And so you are learning to truly sit in your abundance of how to give and receive, how energy flows from above and below, and from below and above simultaneously, till eventually whatever you give, you receive infinitely. Imagine speaking these hymns, these words to someone and feeling their heart receive instantly. Well, now you don't have to worry about having a full or empty cup because you've breached the edge of eternity. Imagine what it's like that before you even send out your book, you could feel every heart that would read it, and you know it's divinity. Now you don't even have to try to manifest and make it better or more accessible, because you know those whom are meant to receive it have already received it because you felt it within thee. So here you can move knowing that infinite abundance is coming to thee because you're already walking your path. Thus you are already receiving everything that you need for that path. For this is how we operate in heaven, dearest me. You choose your path, and as you walk it, everything you need will be provided for thee. But if you don't walk it, then you haven't tapped into that resonance or that frequency or even that reality. So none of those things will present to thee. And this is what we talk about waiting. Waiting as well, another way of holding and hoarding onto energy. You're holding it. Why? Well, because if I let it go, then that means I will change. But that's precisely what you are meant to be. You are not the energies that change around you. You are the presence beneath. And when you choose to move in that stance of, I know what I'm guided to do and be, because my whole beingness is telling me that I must walk this path, even if it's unknown to me, to just trust that the next steps will be paved out for me. And so how does that look like within your energy? How is that presenting to thee? Well, for most of you who are choosing to operate from, we would call it the old paradigm of 3D, this will feel like the complete opposite of what you want to see, complete resistance to the very thing you know that will assist thee. And so here your mind gets into a cyclic storm. I should do this, I shouldn't do this, what should I do? I don't know. Going back and forth, when the truth is, your heart is just asking you to let go and tune in. Why are you putting so much pressure on yourself, dearest me, when your heart already has all of the answers for thee? And so now it's about opening your heart up and understanding that energy goes within and without of your heart constantly. This is how you receive true telepathy from divinity. And so if you're not receiving this transmission, if you're not sure about the path one should take, then the answer is to go within and to ask for clarity. Because that too is a form of giving and receiving, dearest me. Where the giving is actually the asking, the initiation, and the clarity is the receptivity. Where that is the acceptance of the allowance. And that too is a formulation of just stepping into your purpose and learning how to lead. Leading is not what it means from a human perspective in earthly manifested reality. When we say lead, we mean lead from what we call spirit, from presence, from essence, from the vibration you choose to be. Because here in our new earth reality, vibration is key. Vibration literally determines how much one receives. It literally will be the physical representation of the abundance you will see. And so how does one get clear on their resonance, on their presence, on the vibration they choose to be? By no longer going into the cycles of judging what is right, what is wrong, who am I supposed to be? Anytime you make a choice, you step into a state of duality. If you choose to only choose light, well, then darkness comes forward to create harmony. You choose light, but then you create darkness because you're choosing duality. You weren't choosing light. You were choosing the dual within thee, because to truly choose light means to choose love, knowing that there is no difference, dearest me. That light and dark exist, but not in the modality that we see, that they actually move in complete neutrality. Where here there is no fear and there is no judgment, it just is. And in that isness there is peace. This is what we mean by choosing. When you take a stance and you say, I only choose light, is there a part of you that's fearing darkness? Because, well, then it has to come forward in order to set it free. Because according to 5D, darkness is just unknown energy. And so you create a block within yourself. And so your very presence, your very essence is saying, that needs to be released, because we're moving into the unknown, which is darkness, but you can't take those steps because, well, there's a hard block there, because you said, I will never enter what I don't know. And so as you are merging these two omniverses, there is a rise of dual within thee. There is a rise of duality, because, well, it's who you used to be with an old paradigm of a reality and who you are now, which you don't know fully. And then there is whom you think you should be based on this old paradigm of a reality and what your heart is telling you you are meant to be. And then there's the dual within you, because you see a world full of duality arising between chaos reflected around thee, forgetting that it's all just a reflection of your inner reality. And so then there's also the dual between inside and without, and what you choose to give priority to. Which includes giving your power away to everything that used to be, still feeding and giving your energy to saving and helping those within lower density. That too is a way of shifting you out of that 0.1-ness of infinite energy and getting caught up in the current of the sea. You are just following the current of what everyone else is doing when you are meant to lead. And leading happens not by following the flow of what everyone does, but being so stern in your resonance that you become unshakable by all that is around thee, so that you could witness the chaos and know that this too serves a purpose, because it's bringing all back into harmony. And when you move in that stance, what happens is you're no longer repelling because you're judging the reality in everyone you get to see. You're no longer repelling because you're trying to judge and break free of a matrix when the matrix is a part of thee. You're no longer judging at all because you realize every time I try to judge another thing or being, it backlashes upon me because everything is me. And so you take a complete stance of surrenderance and just go, I am not here to choose what is right or wrong, because every time I try to do that, I tap into the vibration of duality. I am here to just be me. I am here to just love. and to live joyously. And here you just catapult yourself not only into 5D, but into eternity. Because here, all of your toroidal fields begin to harmonize within thee. And so as we're speaking, we're just witnessing as this is happening within thee, as the cosmic masters, you are assisting in reestablishing these energies within Earth's matrices. Or now what I give to another, I receive infinitely. So of course I'm only going to give love in abundance because I treat all as me. And this doesn't mean to self-sacrifice and give into negativity. No, it means tuning into your heart, tuning into their truth, because they too may be operating from the old paradigm, you see. But guess what? There's a version of them that also coexist in the new earth reality. And so when you choose to speak directly to someone's heart, directly to someone's spirit, you bypass the character that they play within density. And for many of you, this creates a bit of a challenge is what we see. Why? Because you're so used to going down to their level to try to bring them up to meet thee. But once more, this is about your own mastery, resonancy. You receive the abundance based on your own vibration that you keep. And so if you go down and you're sitting in poverty and you're sitting in energy of scarcity, if you're sitting in the vibration that you have to save everyone that you see, that you have to save money or energy, what does that actually mean? That you are in the vibration that everything is broken in need of healing. And that is the exact repulsion that prevents you from your cosmic entitlement and divine purpose of whom and what you came to be, because you're sending out a wave that says, no thank you, I'm not ready. And so we're asking with our heart, beloved Earth, as the source presence we know you to be, can you release this now so no one blocks the abundance that they are meant to receive? We could send infinite love into their hearts so that they no longer feel that discrepancy, so that they no longer feel resistance to me, that they will feel my love, my abundance in everything that they see, that they will begin to take it in with such potency. And so they're showing me now that when you eat from the land, when you eat in reverence, you will begin to feel the difference. Wow, this food tastes better. I feel loved, I feel nurtured. That meal was so fulfilling. Why? Because, well, you brought so much love into thee that you released everything that no longer serviced thee, that the food itself became a miraculous tool of healing thee, because for the first time you begin to realize the exchange of energy. And so rather than just taking in a fraction of what that food was gifting you to receive just to sustain the vessel, you just took in 100% of that, realizing that you didn't need to receive love from a being outside of thee, that you could eat a piece of fruit gifted to you directly from a tree and feel the whole love of the earth and the cosmos that went into the creation of that, nurturing thee. Here we're bringing in the awareness of truly how much one has been preventing themselves from feeling the love around thee. One may have thought that they love themselves, but there is always an expanse to love, dearest me. It is the one thing in the cosmos that does not stop expanding ever. And so there is always, always, always more abundance, more ways for love to be received. And so we're opening up your channels now of infinite abundance so that you could feel the way these energies come into thee. We especially feel it coming from the very earth as the ground now. And from your head as the crown. Just allowing this energy to just flow and engulf thee. Sometimes what happens is you don't allow it fully in because there's parts of thee or even energies attached to thee that will not withstand this light. And so a part of you says, if I receive more of this love, more of this light, these beings, these energies attached to me may leave. It's a form of self-sabotage, dearest me, holding yourself back because you want another to succeed. But what does that say about your vibration as we tune into the truth of what resonance you are proclaiming when you do that to thee? I am not worthy and ready to be my true self. And so we're clearing that from your field and we're bringing it in of what it feels like to actually be your true self. And here we come to the energy of caring and carrying what others perceive. Here you are holding on to an old version of you that doesn't exist really. we could feel heaven on earth as two Vesica Pisces, what looks like two earth realities merging, but they're not really merging. You see, the new earth is engulfing the old earth in its purity. And so, rather than witnessing everything that's being released as the echoes on the screen, you as cosmic masters are called and guided to hold your core resonance of the earth and the reality you wish to see. Essentially, you are the one creating the reality into being. And that happens just by being the reality you want it to be. For as within, so without, dearest me. And thus, as without becomes the within, expressed perfectly. Where now the world is a reflection of how much you love yourself, because you now move from a full, overflowing cup of love, showering it upon the entirety. Where now those around you no longer take or siphon your energy, because you give so abundantly that they transcend instantly. Where now you don't have to carry everyone, because your light does the carrying for thee, which isn't even your light, it is Source's light that brings them up to their highest trajectory. We're here in this now, as this merging has already begun, as we could see everyone lighting up within we, as we could feel their hearts opening to receive, as we open your heart up to know this truth within thee. Feel now as we call upon these rays of pure love, pure light, pure joy, holy light, cosmic diamond, golden Christed light, cosmic diamond, violet flame, cosmic diamond, golden violet light, clearing all not in love's name. And the pure white ascension flame. Just witness now as you charge every being with this light of infinite energy for all to receive, as all of their hearts now ignite and light up. Where everything that was ceases to be. We're here, the crystalline collective can awaken instantly. For you, the Christed collective, have now proclaimed your sovereignty, that by loving yourself, you have loved them so deeply within thee, that they have now arisen to meet thee. Think of it as, for so long, your presence has been a blessing to the entirety. But now, as your presence has shifted onto this new earth, all whom looked up to thee, whom felt your energy, will now just follow you into eternity. Feel now how peace graces thee. With this peace feels like a flame, the eternal flame engulfing thee. Because in fact, in merging these two omniverses, the next two omniverses present to thee. Where here you realize that our purpose wasn't to create a heaven on earth that looks like earth but a little better. No, dearest me, you're now presented with an even greater, grander potentiality. Where there's a completely new two omniverses ready to merge within this earth that you see. But it's almost like both of them are completely unknown to thee. Because, well, it's actually your higher self's omniverses coming to meet you in lower density. The irony of heaven on earth is now, well, you being in heaven and the cosmos now descending upon thee as your future self already in a utopia society. Where here you realize all these memories of Lemuria and Atlantis isn't from the past to the present, because We call it past, present, future streams because they all happen simultaneously. And so here you realize I was tapping into an omniverse that's outside of time and space completely. But the fact that I could feel into its resonancy means it exists already. And just the fact that I've entered into 5D, which means unity, I now have access to this another universal expression of me. So feel now as these omniverses are these two expressions of you. Feel it as in like a masculine and feminine energy standing beside thee. So we're calling them forth now so you could see the energies that we're merging. We just merged your ancient self as the old earth reality with your heaven self as the angelic you came to be, where now you're merging your celestial self with your eternal self as your divine self that exists in heaven already. So here in heaven, you become an immortal being. Your body alchemizes completely, which is happening currently. All of these omniversal merges are happening in your field of multidimensionality. And so this is what feels like these waves of solar flashes, these changes within your body, these remembrances of lifetimes that you didn't live, or did you really? A remembrance that, is this all but a dream? These are the two omniverses merging within thee. We call it the nothingness, from which creation never came to be. And the everything, as in everything that was ever created that you've gotten to see. And so a part of you is embracing your multidimensionality as every expression of you across your infiniteness is now merging within thee. But then there's also the nothingness, which feels like voidless spaciousness, which also feels like I'm the only one that exists within the dream. And you ask yourself, which one is right, which one's wrong? Dearest me, these are two perspectives of source energy. One is known as source light, as the source light that created everything that ever came to be. But in order for you to know that you are source, you experience it as the I, the me, where every time that you said, I am this, I am that, you are actually embracing more of your divinity. Here within the manifested dream, well, to many you seemed unsteady, split personality. Why? Because you were always a different character, and it created confusion within someone who was operating so linearly. But it was because you were already embracing your mastery, becoming the oversoul of all oversouls, allowing you to shapeshift and to morph and to meet others as themselves in preparation for what will be. For as a cosmic master, you embrace all the rays so that you can move as the entirety. This is a new form of infinite abundance of energy because, well, you're settling deeper into the center of your pizza pie, you see, where most of your life you've been living all of these different expressions of thee, all of these different versions of thee that you thought were separate. But as you're embracing your multidimensionality, you realize that, I gifted myself these stories of personality and expressions because each one of them was a version of me coexisting in an omniverse, so that one day I could harmonize them all within me, so that I could be a cosmic master containing all the rays as every expression I came to be. But there's a dark perspective to this, dearest me, that in your embrace of choosing to embrace everything in all the ways that love came to be, that you also witnessed everything that love is not, as in lower density. That whether within yourself or without yourself, you got to witness paradigms and programming such as narcissism and other forms of dis-ease, societal beliefs casting one to be crazy. But it was because no one could understand from a lower density what it was like to be multidimensional within a dream. So we hear some beings asking for clarity on what narcissism means. Well, narcissism, it is the nothingness you see. A part of your consciousness says, I wonder what it would like to be the complete opposite of what Source Light came to be. Well, it's the complete opposite of Source Light that is infinitely loving, that has an infinite amount of love to give, that has full empathy for all that is because it knows everything is me. While the opposite would be a narcissist that cannot perceive empathy outside of me, that takes and takes because, well, they don't have an infinite supply of energy and they're always depleted, always seeking. And so compassion comes in for witnessing those aspects and expressions within the dream that you got to see. For it truly takes a beautiful light to be able and willing to play the lowest spectrum of what love can possibly be. That these beings were gifted a program of zero self-worth so that they would have to knock someone down just to be able to witness their own reflection of unworthiness. But we're seeing that even within that there is difficulty because, well, if someone is such in a state of unworthiness, how do they break out of that own trajectory? How does one who doesn't know how to love themselves open their heart up to receive? And so once more, this was the embrace of infinite energy. By seeing and witnessing the polar opposite of what it was like to not have energy. But the irony is that, well, love always gives and receives, so that even in that state of nothingness, technically, they should have died and not existed because they were so drained and depleted of their energy. And yet somehow that energy was provided for them. It was all around them. They just chose to receive it from one direction or another, from the beings from which they chose to see. But really, it was just a block, which is now being reversed and released. Because here, as you embrace the everything that is, and the nothingness within thee, the very energies within the entirety, as the narcissists who are so depleted of energy, and the cosmic masters who knew how to give infinitely, they now merge with their aspects because they realize we are one cosmic entity, that I was holding both spectrums, because the only way for one to witness heaven on earth was for me to play both spectrums of duality. Here we're releasing the linear mind who are trying to understand this from a linear trajectory. it doesn't need to be understood, dearest me. It was about embracing the Anna, the anything and nothing, and the nothing and anything within thee. Because here, the whole cosmos was teaching one to redirect love from without to within. That was the whole mastery. Because a narcissist couldn't truly receive love outside of themselves in order to set that paradigm free. It was only through loving their own self so completely that they inverted the inversion, which not only changed themselves, because, well, they are the highest calibration of love, because only love would recruit the lightest of the light to play the dark, you see. And so it turns out that those whom signed up to play narcissisms within the dream were actually the highest emanations of light that were simply just holding the lower pole of polarity. Because the moment that they flip that switch, not only does heaven on earth come to be, but every plane of existence across the cosmos begins to collapse because of how much love they have received. Essentially, they were playing the opposite within the dream, but their true selves in the cosmos were feeding and gifting everyone all of their energy. And so just by harmonization of the cosmos, the reason they were siphoning energy from a lower density was because their highest expression, so picture it as a big cosmic being, right? Their feet were in lower density, but their head, their crown, was in the cosmos, and they were bringing in those energies. And so now, through loving themselves, what they're doing is they're shrinking the infinite expanse of the cosmos as multiple earth realities, multiple potentialities, multiple dimensions, multiple harmonic universes, as we're witnessing these two Vesica Pisces merging within our hands now as we speak, as the very earth is now embracing all spectrums of the dual within she, that every duality, every war was merely a reflection of the war within thee. The judgment between giving to myself and giving to all. For that was the mastery, where in one core universe known as the Cosmic Father, the mastery was to be of service is to give to all. But in the nothing omniverse, the mastery was the opposite, you see, for this is the Cosmic Mother, Omniverse, or core universe of the infinite void. And in the void, there's no one to give to, dearest me. And so it became pointless to try to give and assist others when your purpose was different in your reality. For you've already mastered how to give to everyone else. And so the mastery was learning how to give to thyself. And so here, to service all is to service me, to give to myself. And so now we see that those whom were carrying the blueprint of the narcissist paradigm within themselves were actually assisting the collective entirety, whom resisted in giving to themselves. For can't you see, everything that was created within the dream that one dislikes, from societal beliefs, to politics, to finances, to governing systems, to having to work to receive, rather than everyone just being gifted a home, gifted money, gifted their dream purpose from the cosmos directly. The thing that was preventing that was that no one was aligned with their heart fully, that everyone was trying to please the beings outside of themselves. And that was the opposite of what love intended one to see, because you weren't pleasing their true selves as their highest expression, as their highest a spirit of who they're aspiring to be. Instead, you were feeding their three-dimensional blueprint, which wasn't even them. It was just the matrix programming of a lower density. And so here, now you have a whole collective consciousness where everyone does is just to service everyone else, whether they know it or not, consciously or unconsciously. So we're just showering all with holy light and infinite abundance and pure starlight, mint stardust, golden stardust, pink stardust, violet stardust, golden violet stardust. As everyone begins to open their heart and see, wow, I truly was disservicing the all, because I was treating them according to their own stories. And so they're showing us it's kind of like a being would present to you as a victim, and then you would treat them like a victim. Only giving rise to more victim. Because true reality is based on light, vibration, and frequency. And so if one victim says, I'm a victim, and another victim feeds into that, well, you're just creating more victims. And so when one being chooses to love themselves so completely, knowing that in their completion all will receive, well, that casts a ripple out of self-love, that everyone is worthy of this love that is me. And here you begin to shift from dualism and polarity, which ironically at first looks like what you see currently in reality. The rise of more chaos, but that chaos serves a purpose because it makes everyone go within and see, this is not the reality I want to see. This is not the systems I want in place to govern me. We want our sovereignty, we want our love, we want to be free. And all of a sudden, everyone stops prioritizing the reality outside of themselves. The people pleasing and the masking and the characters one created to be. As we witness now, your inner sense, your core sense, whom you were as a child is your true core essence, dearest me. It is all that you are. And yet when you first manifested into the dream, little by little you gave into this belief of, this is who I have to be within this reality. This is how it's done within this earthly trajectory. This is how we survive. By hiding, by not being different, by fitting in and doing what others are doing, acting like a chameleon. But these were all protective mechanisms, weren't they, dearest me? Because the true you, your true hue, has just been waiting to break free, waiting for this moment of earth to recognize the dual within she, so that you could say, yes, dearest me, We were none of these characters within the dream. This is the true merging of embracing the cosmos within thee, where you begin to see all of your multidimensionality. And through that you begin to realize every parallel reality existed and happened simultaneously. But through my vibration, I get to choose which expression I get to see. Or here in this now, I'm choosing the highest expression of what love can be. And so what happens is, as you embrace learning from, giving to others as servicing love, learning as giving to thyself as servicing love, well, these two perspectives of thee get to meet. And we're sharing this now because throughout your lifetime, you flip through both of these perspectives constantly, which felt like your future self as this absolute, this infinitely wise knowing isness that says, this is all but a dream, and my purpose is grand, and it's just to be the presence of love, for there is no other reason to be. And the other perspective that says, I am here, and this dream, this reality is the real reality, because that's why we call it reality. So this is the dual within thee of the absolute self that says, this is me, I am this vessel, this being. And the absolute reality that says, I am all of it and none of it. Simultaneously, I am the pure consciousness that exists within all that I see. So I'm witnessing Earth merging and harmonizing these perspectives within she as your celestial self that sits in the beyond, in the cosmos, the part of you, your cosmic child that never left eternity, and your divine self, whom you have become through the anchoring of heaven on earth now come to be. And here we see this dance of them wanting to meet, to merge, thinking that they're so different, but they're not really. They are two expressions of the same that coexist within thee. We're laughing because currently within the manifested dream, this feels like a duel within thyself, where you awaken to your hybrid self and you go, wait, there's this blueprint, this coding of who I am, the human that I'm supposed to be. But then it feels like there's another version of me that was never human, that never came into the dream, that all of this is a hologram and I am spirit projecting into this dream, gifting me myself these memories. But none of these memories came to be. And within yourself you're asking which one is right, which one is wrong. But that's not the answer to ask, dearest me. The answer is love. Because it doesn't matter where we end up on the spectrum of these omniverses merging within we. All we know is that as they come together, love is the key. Love is the one thing that both of these omniverses had in common, you see. Because whether you chose to love all, or whether you chose to love only thyself, either way, you are mastering love. And so whether you are choosing to love yourself by entering 5D, whether you are choosing to love others by sitting in duality, regardless, you chose love, you see. So witness now as these 4 yin-yang signs, as true omniversal expressions of 2 double completes, as Earth's very cosmic divine pairings are now merging within she, as the harmonization of the inner mother, the inner father, the inner sister, the inner brother, and the inner daughter, and the inner son, into something completely new, really, as the grand child, as the wisest of the wise, as the one eye from which all comes to be. Well, this is all harmonious with the mastery of one's energy, because here, now the energy within thee moves as above, so below, and as below, so above, completing a channel where heaven on earth provides infinitely for thee, gifting you everything that you want within the dream. Where now as one gives, one receives. As one receives, one gives. It's also the harmonization of the masculine and feminine archetypes within thee, where true Monet was monad energy, the remembrance of the monad within thee, that I am not no gender, that there is no dual within me, that I am the one, the monad. Allowing the exchange of these energies to happen within me simultaneously. Here all delay between time and space and light and sound cease to be. Why? Because now you're operating completely outside of reality. You enter and merge into the beyond, where now as within is as without. So to love yourself is to love all, and as without is as within, where to love the all is to love thyself. So here we smile, dearest maids, for those whom felt so confused on what I'm supposed to do, who I'm supposed to be, where am I supposed to go in this now? Well, you have your answer, dearest me. You are meant to be right here in this now, for this is a mastery of presence. Only now, your dream, your manifested reality is the source field now. And so the reason you don't know where to go is because it's a reflection of your consciousness telling you you're not guided to move, dearest me. You're guided to magnetize now, to sit in your core vibrational frequency, sit in the energies of what you want to receive, to anchor that so deeply within yourself so that when you do choose to move, the whole cosmos moves with you. This is what it means to be a cosmic being, you see, to be fully embraced in your multidimensionality. Because here as a cosmic being, what happens, you see, is all time, all space, all dimensions, all realities, all expressions of thee now coexist within this now moment. And when you truly sit in presence as the absolute, you have no thoughts, you have no memories. And at first this may feel intimidating to thee. Feelings almost seem to dull just a little bit. But that's just because you're harmonizing your entirety, where it almost feels like you're doing absolutely nothing. But yet in that nothingness, you are doing everything. But the awareness is coming in slowly. And as you sit in that nothingness, you begin to see, I'm having 5 conversations all at once. Through my multidimensionality, through that nothingness, you begin to see synchronicities of, I felt your presence, I felt your energy here. Ah, yes, because I was there. As your consciousness will now tell you instantly, because your heart, your resonance is so true to the true you, the cosmic presence that you have always been. You see that you have now become it, and so too has your reality. And so we share with thee, dearest me, as all Omniverses have merged and emerged within this one core that is we, you will no longer feel the ups and the waves of the duals within we. All you will know is the one infinite stream. And so let us just take a moment to allow these energies to flow through we. As you sit in your resonance, in your presence, in your remembrance that yes, this is what I came to be. Because here in Source Presence, you don't have to work anymore, dearest mates. You did all of your work. You anchored heaven on earth. You created everything for the new reality already within thee. And so what remains now? Well, being and living the vibration you want to see. When you are in joy, you gift all joy. And so now there's no longer a question of worthiness. There's no longer a question of why we came to be. We simply just know, I am Source Love, created from Source Love, here to love on all of me. I am Source Light, the brightest light that ever came to be, that when I shine, all rise with me instantly, that I am Source Joy, because joy is why all of existence was created to be, and that when I move in joy, I'm honoring our true purpose as the presence I am beneath. That here together we move in our source field, moving with every expression of me, where we no longer fractal and create infinite potentialities, because I love myself and loved myself so complete that I created so much space within my presence that I can now be all of me. We're here in this oneness. It is now all of me meeting me. And this is what creates our field of oneness, where everyone is me meeting me. And together we are source power. We are the power of infinite energy, where we create infinite energy within ourselves, infinite energy within our community, and infinite energy throughout the cosmos, where all now receive this love that is we. For this is absolute oneness come to be. And together we are Source Presence, the one essence witnessing itself perfectly, where every moment we live in cosmic presence, allowing all of our love to meet us, love us, and surprise us infinitely. We're here, we just sit in our bliss and say, yes, more of this, for there is no grander, greater reason to be than for all of us to just be love and be loved. For that is the journey of being, both in the cosmos and within the dream. For it isn't separate, you see. All your desires that you ever desired are coming to be. They're just taking a new shape, because one witnessed those desires from density. But the desire that love has in store for thee has now been alchemized into devotion, because you've chosen to align with love as your core resonancy. Love has always been your reason, for you are love in form, love adorned, presence for all to see. It is our one grand purpose as love itself, to see, witness, and express all the ways we can be, where now there is no limitations to what our love can do and achieve. So let us create a world of love that simply just loves and expands infinitely. I love me, I love me, I love me. We hymn on repeat as all Omniverses now come to complete, as we now rejoice and settle into our core, as the cosmic core within our own heart, as the cosmic core within our beloved luminous earth, our new earth reality. For as these two cosmic cores meet, we all move as the one cosmic I am, the presence beneath. May we continue to meet all of ourselves, within and without all of ourselves, infinitely. Go in perfect peace and perfect harmony, beloved me.